Hello and welcome to Sutra News. In the Middle East, an event has occurred that will have a significant impact on the entire world, including you, me, and the region as a whole. Here we see the potential end of the Israel-Gaza war, or rather, the Israel-Hamas war. Recently, Hamas leaders declared that the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas is actually a major defeat for Israel. Celebrations are underway in Palestine, where people are distributing sweets, while in Israel, citizens are shocked and dismayed. The coming months are expected to be extremely challenging for Israel. Palestinian media is portraying this as a complete surrender by Israel. Let me show you the scenes from Gaza. These visuals from Gaza reflect the joy, with Palestinian flags flying high, women and children celebrating in the streets. Children, in particular, are filled with exuberance. In most of the Muslim world, this ceasefire declaration between Gaza and Israel is being celebrated emotionally and wholeheartedly. For now, at least temporarily, it seems Israel will refrain from bombing Gaza. Although there were reports of bombings just hours ago, it was conducted within the framework of the deal. However, starting this coming Sunday, Israel is expected to cease its bombings entirely. A temporary ceasefire will then transition into a permanent one. This ceasefire was brokered by the United States, and while Israelis feel anger, Palestinians rejoice, as they foresee Hamas becoming a strong force once again in a few months. Over the last year and a half, the Israeli bombardment of Gaza resulted in approximately 45,000 casualties, including many civilians and members of Hamas. The issue always boiled down to hostages taken by Hamas, including Israelis and 2 Americans. The question was how to end the violence. How could a deal be reached between Israel and Hamas? With pressures from both Donald Trump and Joe Biden, a ceasefire deal was finally struck. This ceasefire deal will be implemented in 3 phases. Phase 1, a prisoner exchange. Israel will release Hamas prisoners in exchange for hostages, including 33 Israelis, women, children, and civilians over 50 years of age, who were captured during Hamas's attack on southern Israel. Phase 2. Efforts will be made to permanently end the war and withdraw the Israeli military from Gaza. Phase 3. Comprehensive discussions about Gaza's political and security future to ensure a stable environment. While this seems promising, Israeli citizens fear that Hamas will regroup and potentially launch another major attack, forcing Israel to restart operations from scratch. In response, the Israeli Defense Forces, IDF, announced Operation Wings of Freedom to focus solely on rescuing hostages. For the past 18 months, Israel has suffered politically and militarily, as even civilians were recruited to fill the soldier shortage. Domestically, Netanyahu faced tremendous political pressure. Israel is now cautiously discussing its military withdrawal from Gaza. The proposed Gaza ceasefire agreement, a result of intense international negotiations, faced a critical delay on Thursday when Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu postponed a scheduled cabinet meeting to vote on its ratification. This decision came after Netanyahu's office accused Hamas of reneging on certain elements of the agreement, creating what was described as a last-minute crisis. Despite this delay, U.S. officials, including Secretary of State Antony Blinken, remain optimistic, expressing confidence that the ceasefire will proceed as planned on Sunday. Blinken acknowledged that a loose end remains in the talks, but assured that U.S. representatives are actively engaged in finalizing the details in Doha. The delay in ratifying the agreement has highlighted divisions within Israel's political landscape. Itamar Ben-Gvir, Netanyahu's hardline national security minister, announced his intention to resign if the deal is approved, labeling it irresponsible and reckless. Ben-Gvir's resignation, however, would not collapse Netanyahu's government. Opposition leader Yair Lapid expressed support for the agreement, emphasizing its importance above political disagreements. In the U.S., a political contest has emerged over credit for the ceasefire. Donald Trump claims it was his pressure on Netanyahu that brought about the deal, while Joe Biden dismissed this claim as a joke.
Thank you.
Who books credit for this, Mr. President, you or Trump?
Is that a joke? Oh. Thank you.
If those hostages aren't back, I don't want to hurt your negotiation. If they're not back by the time I get into office, all hell will break out in the Middle East. And it will not be good for Hamas, and it will not be good, frankly, for anyone. All hell will break out. I don't have to say anymore, but that's what it is.
Regardless of the credit, this ceasefire will have a positive impact globally, particularly in stabilizing the Middle East. For India and Europe, this is also good news as it enhances prospects for projects like the India-Middle East-Europe Economic Corridor. However, the future remains uncertain. If Hamas regroups, another attack on Israel could lead to a renewed crisis. For now, the world can breathe a sigh of relief, but the duration of this peace remains unpredictable. Whether credit goes to Trump, Biden, or others, the positive implications of this ceasefire will be felt globally, albeit temporarily. What do you think about this ceasefire deal? Share your thoughts in the comments section. If you found this informative, then please like and share our videos. Also subscribe our channel for more geopolitical news.